First, live, local. This is Fox 12 Now.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. You know, if you watch this show, you especially know that around Thursdays, we are always joined by Mr. Eric Goranson from around the House Northwest, giving us a preview of this week's episode of his show and always offering advice and tips and tricks and interesting things that you should probably know about. And this is one that I feel like everybody can benefit from, talking about indoor air quality and how to improve it. That is important.
Right? I mean, it's crazy out there. We're all of a sudden inside because where did summer go? It's almost November now, so happy Halloween, everybody. But all of a sudden we're inside and we're like, wow, there's dust and everything else in here. Why are my allergies bugging me? And there's some really simple things we can do to control that and make it a heck of a lot cleaner.
Yeah, I mean, I think even just looking at our backdrop here, I just realized that that's from our Shriners camera. You can see, it looks like an HVAC unit working there below the camera. That shows what it means. Everybody's getting inside though, just to demonstrate that. So what are some steps that people can do to help improve that air quality?
You know, the first things you can do is use the tools you already have. You know, most homes have a vent hood in the kitchen, right? That vents all the way out. And if you don't have one that vents all the way out, it's a good DIY project to make sure that happens. So you can sit there and make sure, because sometimes if you've got an old house, you've got that recycling one that blows the air back in your face. Those don't work at all. So maybe that's a great weekend project to install one that ducts all the way outside of the building, but use that and the bath fans to get that humidity down and all those pollutants out, because that kitchen range or range top or cooktop or whatever you're cooking on, that is the biggest polluter inside your home that you need to be venting that stuff outside. So that's a really big one right there. And it doesn't matter if you've got an electric range, gas range, or whatever you're doing. Just cooking that food releases a lot of chemicals, moisture, steam, that kind of stuff. So it's good to get that knocked out.
That's okay. So make sure that that is working. If you're using that stove and oven a lot, make sure that you're getting that out of there. So definitely good advice there.
That's a big one. And the bath fans too. You know, you think about all the soaps and hair products and all that stuff that happens inside the bathroom, plus any smells that are going on in there. It's good to have that running. So let that run 20 minutes after you leave the bathroom. New homes, they require you to put a timer on there. So if you got a newer home, just hit the 20-minute button as you walk out the door, let it run for a little bit and let it just get all that air and moisture out of there. And that way you can kind of cut that down.
That's good idea. So have that timer going 20 minutes, make sure it's not building up inside. So two great things. So make sure that your oven's getting vented, and fan for the bathroom.
You got it. Now, some of this stuff is almost counterintuitive because we have so many things inside our house that actually make our air worse that we're trying to make it better with. Like those plug-in air fresheners you put the oils in.
Mm-hmm.
Those things are like vaping because you're breathing that stuff. You don't want to use any of the plug-in oil air freshener things inside the house. It's really bad. Those oils you're breathing back in, and that can really contribute to low quality air. It might make the house smell good, but it's really getting all that stuff. It's almost like vaping inside your own house. Not the best plan.
Okay, that's good to know. I never even thought about that. Yeah, so those smells you're just breathing in those chemicals. What about the ones that aren't the plug-in? They aren't the solid ones?
Yeah,
is that any better?
Gonna be better, but take a look and see what chemicals are inside it. There's a lot of different stuff out there. There's some stuff that's natural, you know, and even natural stuff can be interesting. So let's say you go out and buy an air quality monitor. You can get them for, you know, 30 to $100 on Amazon, let's say, and you plug that in and take a look at it. And one of the things that you have to look for is, you know, it measures 4 or 5 things in there, and the volatile organic compounds, or it's going to measure it as a total VOC. And so a lot of times the cleaning products that you use will raise that up and put all those chemicals in. And you know, any of these type of cleaners right here, and I've got this one blacked out, but if you look at, you know, your pop top cleaners, these things let off so many chemicals inside your home. I've done air testing with a friend of mine who has an air testing company. He can look at the air test results and tell you how many cans of that you have underneath your sink, because it's letting off that many chemicals.
Dang. So again, that's just something that I feel like a lot of people don't even think about. So those are letting off chemicals. There's so many chemicals now that I'm thinking about in my house.
Yeah. And then the mistakes that you can make. I mean, if you've got an attached garage and you're storing all your brake cleaners and all the stuff that we use, that stuff tends to get inside the house. It's even worse if it's in a basement. If you're storing all your paints and chemicals down there, your lawn care chemicals in the basement, all that stuff is still coming up inside the house. And cool thing is you can buy a very inexpensive monitor there to plug in the wall and put on your phone, and you can see what it is. And so all of a sudden you can start taking things out and go, oh, that's what that was. And you can kind of watch it real time to see what happens.
All right, this is some good advice that anybody anywhere can be thinking about, whether you're in an apartment, whether you're in your house, and being aware of some of those things that you just don't even think about. Anything else that you think is good that people could do?
Yeah, another thing that they're looking for with these air quality monitors is they're going to have CO2. So if you've got a holiday party, like let's say you've got friends coming over tonight, it'll sit there, and if you put 10 or 12 people in your house, it's not ready for that. So open up a window or two. People get sleepy. Sometimes it's not maybe the turkey or the food you're eating. Sometimes it's that lower air quality. And there's some things you can do to your house to do that. You could turn on the vent fan, turn on your fans or your vent fan, or you could turn on your HVAC system to fan only. So that way it's just moving the air around, or you can just crack a window too to get some fresh air in there. If you're doing any remodeling, I've got one in my house, but it's a skylight that pops open when it goes, hey, there's too much CO2 in the house. It'll actually open up if it's not raining and vent the space out to bring more fresh air in automatically.
I love that. That's really cool. So yeah, pay attention to that. If you have a bunch of people, get some air in there. All right. Well, some great advice for everybody. Anything else, or should we talk about this week's episode?
One more.
Okay.
I think it's really important. Is just making sure the dust quality is down, and they call that PM 2.5, which is a 2.5 micron, basically dust particle floating around. So make sure you're changing your filters. Make sure that if you don't have filters, like if you got baseboard heaters in a condo, an apartment, or you don't have a central system, you can buy some really cool HEPA filtration units that plug in the wall, and that'll help clean up that stuff. So there's a lot of cool little air scrubbers and things like that you can do to really keep your air quality clean. So those are things you can buy over the counter some places at your home improvement stores and stuff, and plug them in, and that'll make a big difference if you don't have any air filtration in your house. But that's
okay. All right. So again, good advice, and feel free to share this segment and let other people know about it too, for some ways that you can help improve that air quality. And for this week's episode of Around the House Northwest, what do we have on tap?
We've got a fun one coming up. So we're going to be going out to the Oregon coast, doing some stuff out there. So we've got a I don't want to tease it too much, but we have a house we're going to take a look at out there that's on the coast that is I think it's like 3 acres of basic Oregon coast waterfront, and every room looks out to the water.
Whoa. Okay.
Yeah.
That's enough of a tease right there. Yeah.
It's crazy. And I think my project this week, we did 2 while we were out there. I think the one this week that I'm going to be building is we're going to install I believe this week it's going to be the water filtration unit, a whole house water filter, to show you how to do that. So if you're worried about, chlorine, iron, some of the chemicals, any of those things in there, as well as it's a salt-free solution for hard water, which in some areas can be interesting as well, because you can get a lot of buildup and stuff on your showers and glasses and things like that. So it's a whole house water filtration system, so you can make sure you got some healthy water.
Nice. Well, that is for Around the House Northwest for this week. And where and how can people watch that?
All right. If you missed last week's episode, you got to check that out tomorrow morning, 8 a.m. Fox 12 Plus. We have a killer time out at Pittock Mansion and get some behind the ropes look. So if you missed it last week, make sure you catch it in the morning tomorrow. And then the new show airs on Saturday at 10 a.m. on Fox 12 Plus, as well as 6 p.m. on Sunday for all of you out there, finishing the games and stuff out there. Make sure you catch it then.
There we go. All right, Eric, always so good to have you on here. And happy Halloween. Also, by the way, and for everybody watching, this is Fox 12 Now, so we appreciate you joining us. We've got more throughout the afternoon. I'm going to come back if you're watching live I'll be back at 2 with a talk about Amazon's nuclear energy facilities that they're planning. So an in-depth discussion on that will teach you more about what's going on there and what to know. And again, that'll be at 2 o'clock, so just come right back to whatever platform you're on, or if you're watching after the fact, maybe it's already up, and you can check that out in all of our old segments, as well as all of the segments from Around the House Northwest. They're on the Fox 12 Oregon YouTube channel. But we will sign off for now. Eric, I'll see you later.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks, everybody. Talk to you soon.